our area. Currently in our area, 41 degrees under cloudy skies. Our local Doppler radar. Today, rain, high 47. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 90%. For tonight, mix of rain and snow. Low 34. About 1 inch of snow expected. Our 7-day outlook.
All right, it's Wednesday, so we're already got it. Well, we have an amazing start going on. That was your local weather on the 8th. AMHQ begins now. Winter Storm Thor stretching across the country from the Rockies into the Northeast. 86 million, brand new number. 86 million of us under winter weather alerts, snow, freezing rain, and flooding. Hey, D.C., you're involved here. Heads up. New York, you're involved as well. We'll go as far west as Dallas this morning to talk about the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex on alert. Winter storm warning set to go there at about 3 p.m. this afternoon. Already we've got some cancellations in that area. That's going to affect everyone's travel, even in the East Coast as we wake you up this morning. We've got another big story to talk about. There's some blinding fog out there in the southeast all the way into the Gulf Coast. And this morning, you're looking at a Coast Guard cutter that is headed out right now to find a missing plane. This is a live picture. This plane, a small plane, a Mooney 20, went down, and they believe 4 people are in that plane. They're searching for it. The reports were that that fog was just 25 feet visibility in the area where that plane was. They can't get a helicopter in there. So this morning, fog, ladies and gentlemen, is a big problem for you. Whether you're on the roads or flying, it's going to affect your travel, and we've got it. We've got a big issue, Jim, and you're highlighting it now. The next one is this cold air that comes in with the front behind.
Yeah, we got the warm air out ahead of it. Now the cold front's going to sink back down, but with that warm air comes the fog, like we saw certainly in so many spots. But just a tremendous front. I mean, look at this. Boston 37, 34 at Cleveland, 19 in Kansas City. So this is all sinking south. At the same time, warm, moist air is coming over the top of that. So we will time this out for you, Sam, and let you know when the frozen precipitation arrives. You're fine right now in the megalopolis, but tomorrow, a whole different animal. This could be the biggest storm of the season for Reagan National, okay? Oof. Washington, D.C., and you have to wait till March to get it.
All right, that's a headline. Let's go back to that. The biggest storm of the season for Washington, D.C., possibly. All right, Jim's got your temperatures. Jen has the big board, and there's so much winter still on this map, but look at that rain taking over.
Yeah, and you know, we're talking about a lot of rain, and good morning to you in Kentucky. I know you can still see it on the radar on the floor. In fact, we've been looking at areas with flooding out there, and the rain will be coming to an end in the afternoon. Let's take you over to the big picture. Of course, we know where the snow is going to be, from Colorado all the way over towards parts of the Northeast. This is Thor's roar. Yes, we are tracking that. As we show you, it's going to be targeting areas like the Ohio Valley and the Northeast. And you thought the snow was just going to be yesterday. Yes, it's really going to be firing up today. In the purple, that's where we're going to be looking at some of these spots, 5 to 8 inches of snowfall. Now we come back over and we talk about the other part of this story, and it's the bitterly cold air that is going to be in place. Temperatures once again are going to be flirting with record numbers. We're talking record lows. Anywhere you see these red dots out there for the Northeast, Ohio Valley, we're talking to you. These numbers are going to be running, and some of these locations 20 to 30 degrees below average, and we're not even talking wind chill because it's going to be windy out there as well. Storms are going to be possible all along this front. We point this out to you because of the heavier rainfall that's been coming down for areas like Kentucky as well as into Tennessee. That'll be coming to an end in the afternoon, but then it changes over to snow, and that's just going to make it so heavy out there.
Yeah, you already wowed me this morning when I saw those pins fly down for the records on the map. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I love it. It was great. All right. And of course, we have a team out like only the Weather Channel can, covering every part of this storm Thor. We've got the wet and snowy side of it. We've got the foggy side of it this morning. Chris Warren is live in Memphis. Reagan Medji in Syracuse, New York. Mike Seidel in Boston. Right now, Jim, the big deal has got to be how quickly that cold air zooms in and starts changing things over this morning.
Yeah, and actually, Reagan's already in the cold air. Chris is going to deal with it, I think, later on this afternoon, certainly. And Seidel is going to get in the cold air as well. He's with gloves this morning. It's one of the warmest mornings I've seen in Boston, certainly in quite some time. So here you go, big ridge in through here. We've already had one disturbance slide across the Great Lakes. Here's the next one right here. All right, that's going to link up with this one down and through here and basically bring the wave of snow across the United States, starting, of course, in areas across the Midwest where the cold air is already continuing to drain on down. So this is really complicated forecast, but I think tomorrow, certainly if you're driving I-95 today, I think you're fine. All right, you've got rain, warm, mild temperatures. You can see that right in through here. But as we get into tomorrow, it's a whole different animal. All right, we're going to have Philly, New York, and also D.C. with the snow. And as I mentioned, Reagan could get their biggest storm of the season. Dulles has had already 8, so they can't. I don't think they're going to top that, or they're going to be close. But I certainly think tomorrow is the big deal for Reagan. Philly, you're going to get into this as well, probably 6+. But here we are, 7:30 tonight. All right, everybody's good. We get through the rush hour, but look at what happens overnight. New York starts to change. Philly at 1 o'clock. D.C., you're still warm enough for the rain. But by the rush hour in the morning, look at what happens. New York, just a few leftover spritzes there. Philly, you're in this deep, but so are you in Baltimore and D.C. All right, so hence the miserable rush hour we have for you tomorrow. And, of course, they'll be piling up the snow back through West Virginia, and it'll be tapering off in Lexington during the morning as well. So here we are at noon, but the snow and the cold air keep driving south. So Richmond, you're in this. Blacksburg, you're in this. And by the time we get into the evening, even potentially as far south as Winston-Salem before everything goes offshore at 11 o'clock on Thursday. But a very dynamic, hard-hitting system, Sam, especially as we head during the morning hours. Probably the biggest storm of the season, I think, for Reagan National. And that's a big statement. You wait all the way to March to get the biggest snow.
It's a big statement, and it's something to watch. Jim's eyes are deep on the details today. He's never going to leave that, so you will not be surprised by when the changeover happens and what you get. Tennessee, we should mention, under a state of emergency for more than 2 weeks now. Tennessee, a state very hard hit in this last round of storms. 30 people have died in that state from weather-related causes this season. That's why our Chris Warren is in Memphis this morning, and we're expecting a record-breaking 3 to 5 inches of snow there. And you started in the 60s this morning, Chris, but you're rapidly going to lose that.
That's exactly right, Sam. Temperature around midnight was 63 degrees. There's going to be a 40-degree drop by late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Very cold temperatures on the way. Let's take a look right now outside here. We're about 20 to 30 minutes outside of Memphis, Tennessee, and the roads here bare and wet. We're seeing cars coming and going now after 6 o'clock local time, and it's what you don't see. You do not see the spreaders out there. They're not treating the roads. The reason for that, they can't. When the rain is coming, whatever you put down is going to be washed away. Another thing people have to think about is the fact that you're dealing with the rain right now. The radar's showing spotty rain moving in and out of the Memphis area, but it's mild out here. What you get right now here in Memphis is not at all what you're going to get later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. Winter storm warning goes into effect at 3 o'clock this afternoon for Memphis. So between 3 and 6, we're looking for some sleet. Eventually, that's going to change over to freezing rain or sleet and snow. Eventually, it's going to become all snow. So the roads we're looking at right here that are bare and wet this time tomorrow are going to look completely different. We went from a taste of spring and then crashing right back into winter. Sam?
All right, Tennessee, important state to watch in this storm, and that's why Chris is there. Now let's get you caught up, because this storm, Thor, that we're talking about, has more than a 2,000-mile stretch on this storm in a reach. Anna Rittis has what we know. Good morning, Anna Rittis.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. It's a massive storm, and it's going to impact nearly 90 million people as the day wears on. As you just mentioned, Sam, it covers 2,000 miles from Salt Lake City all the way to New York. 1 death already from this snowy pileup on Interstate 94 near Minneapolis. Oklahoma